And we're underway at Percival Molson Stadium in Montreal, the first match of the 2021 Premiership de Montreal division. My name is Graham Naismith, doing all the commentary for you on Corporate Soccer TV this season. It feels really good to be back after a very long layoff where there were no sports allowed in our area of Canada here in the province of Quebec. But we're back at it now as Montreal 67 faces Sasquatch, and it's gone right in! What an opening goal! It took all of 35 seconds, and Sasquatch in their dark uniforms have got our first goal of the season, a left-footed ball. Oh, that can't be intentional. That's one of those ones where you just throw your arm up and say, well, it went in, that's all that matters. A big opening goal for Sasquatch. I didn't even get to mention Sasquatch in their dark uniforms are moving from left to right on your screen. And Club Soccer Montreal 67 are in white. And they may be in trouble again here, but no, it's called back by the experienced official Luis Vargas. He's got two Tunisians as his assistant referees today, and Louis-Philippe Francou is the fourth official. So, a goal, they made us wait all of 35 seconds before we got our first goal of the 2021 Premiership de Montreal season. And we were just discussing how it was a very long layoff, almost 8 months, well, over 8 months really, where no sports were allowed, but we're finally underway here, and it feels really, really good to be back. By the way, in the Premiership de Montreal division, it is two 45-minute halves. And keep an eye on the field. Ooh, that was a suspect throw-in, but play right on. On the field, they've got the Canadian football lines on there in white. We're playing with the yellow lines. So you can see there, that ball right now is in play. And it actually stays in play as this is a bit of trouble for that defender. Takes it outside, being hacked away at there, trying to dribble it out himself. A slide tackle. And he's won himself a free kick. So 8 teams in this Premiership de Montreal division. We'll dissect the two that are on the field in a moment, but we should mention we are at Percival Molson Memorial Stadium in Montreal on the campus of McGill University. You can see the McGill logo right there at the center of the field. It is a large facility, seats just around 21,000. And it offers beautiful views of the city just behind us. It's normally home to, in addition to the McGill varsity teams for football and soccer and lacrosse, it's also home to the Montreal Alouettes football team in the Canadian Football League. And it's really nice to see that the Premiership division is back here at Percival Molson Stadium, as Montreal 67 just moving their way up the field. Headed on and headed out of play, but I believe Mr. Vargas has called up for another free kick for the team in white. Eyeing this one from about 49 yards away from goal. Sends that one up, not close to the penalty spot. Actually makes it only to the 30-yard line. Now trying to dance his way through. A hard tackle's put in, and Sasquatch wins the ball back. The Premiership division and the Canadian Corporate Soccer League have they had a long relationship with this facility, one of the best in the city. As players being told just to slow down things a bit here. They played at this stadium for an awful long time, up until a few years ago, when they decided to try out a few other facilities in the city. As that ball up, headed down, a second opportunity perhaps, but Sasquatch clears it. And they'll gather it back on the left side. They scored the opening goal only 35 seconds into the game. And they're looking for a second one here as they're on the break. This is where they're dangerous. A young and athletic team. They can catch teams on the counterattack, and they may yet catch Montreal 67 here. Oh, that's a bad slide tackle. I believe the advantage is played, and it's a good one, too, as they'll have an opportunity for a cross into the box. There's a volley back in there. Lots of danger here on the penalty spot. It's blocked in a vital one. Another drive. Hit off of something and never made it through. Montreal 67 really on their heels there and lucky to survive without going down by 2. Now trying to dribble it, a drag back. Lots of physicality there, and it's going back, and now a shove. And just some verbals there, nothing more, as it's been a very physical game, only 6 minutes in between these sides. But yes, the Premiership division back at Molson, and I think it's a good decision to come back to Percival Molson Stadium, as it's a venue that is worthy of the Premiership division, and vice versa, of course. As you have the in-stadium announcer, the fourth official with the substitutes board. You have a scoreboard also. You'll see it down to our left. And I've always said there's nothing like a night game at Molson. They also make use, the league does, of Forbes Field, just up the hill. And they've got something going here down the right side. Do Sasquatch sliding in there. They're going to get a corner. And number 4, Romeo, stays down. But now he's back to his feet, just being checked on. They'll go and take that corner. Forbes Field just up behind this stadium, up the mountain. Another good facility. Actually, it's one of my favorite facilities. There's a dorm for McGill University directly adjacent to the field, and when you get to around dusk, the lights are all on in the dorm, and it really gives a cool atmosphere to play a game of soccer, and also provides some really nice views of the city and of the campus of McGill University. Corner, the first one of the game here for Sasquatch, dangerously in there, but only half cleared. A volley is completely missed. Now a bouncing ball out to the side, hacked away at. That should be a goal kick. It is. So a bit of information on the two teams here. Sasquatch, they were around last season. It's mainly players that made up a team called Montreal Penetrators from last season. They're a group of younger guys, as that's a nice goal kick, well over the halfway line. Younger guys, mainly college and university age. And very athletic, very technically sound. But the book on them was they would always have a lot of possession, especially against weaker teams, but they could never seem to finish off their chances. They had a lot of trouble actually scoring goals last season. They did make the playoffs, and they almost pulled off a big upset as they were neck and neck with a team called FC Jazz, who were powerhouses in the Premiership division, or the Premiership de Montreal, last year. As there's that's a great ball up the field, but the goalkeeper is off his line and will gather it. That is Jacob Novick in the goal for Sasquatch, now hammering that one right back where it came from. But Sasquatch, I think they'll make some noise in this league this year. As we said, younger players, athletic, lots of energy. They know how to play together, which is the important thing, and that's maybe what their opposition is lacking a bit. Club de Soccer Montreal 67, as they're a new team, and they really don't have that chemistry, and they'll be looking to build on that throughout the season. But I would expect Sasquatch to make the playoffs. Top 4 teams make the playoffs, by the way. And as I was saying before, they almost pulled off an upset in the semifinals of the playoffs against FC Jazz. It was actually a late Jazz penalty kick that did it in for the team then known as Montreal Penetrators last year. Here's a chance to even it up perhaps for Montreal 67, but it's knocked away. And then a moment of indecision for the defense. A chance for a long drive. Oh, it's just over. It hits the football upright. So another quirk in the rules. There you can see the scoreboard off to the left as they play it short. If it hits the field goal uprights that are used for football, it's obviously out of play, and that's what happened right there. But if it does hit those uprights, it means it didn't miss by much. And that was a good drive. So Montreal 67, a new team, as we said, looking to build some chemistry. Oh, that's naughty there. The official should intervene here, as he is going to have a word there. It was getting chippy, as they say. Daniel Infante of Club de Soccer Montreal 67 in there against one of his opposition. And this one blown up for a foul. But Club de Montreal 67 are they're actually a team that's based off of a brand that is largely based around Expo 67, the World's Fair that was held in Montreal in 1967, obviously. So that's where this team name comes from. Moving up the field now are Sasquatch. But that one taken away smartly by the right back. And I think if he could do it over again, the official would have wanted to play advantage there, but he's called it back for a foul earlier in the move. We're into the 12th minute. The first goal came just 35 seconds in. It was a left-footed ball from the left side of the field that looped over the goalkeeper for Club Soccer Montreal 67, and it was an early goal for Sasquatch. But there's been some pushback so far from 67. And we'll see how this game plays out. We were just talking about Expo 67. That was one of two major projects for the city of Montreal in the span of about 10 years. Flying in there with the challenge was Romeo. The other one being, of course, the 1976 Olympics, which were actually partly played at this very stadium. It wasn't soccer that was played at this stadium, believe it or not. It was actually field hockey. As Club de Soccer Montreal 67 gaining yardage down the field here. And there'll be a good opportunity here for a free kick. Couple of players up in the box, actually about 6 of them. This one played along the ground. It's a good ball too. That one dinked towards the goal. Oh, very close. Off the post, and it's an equalizer. The flag stays down. And Club de Soccer Montreal 67 has equalized. I'd love to see a replay of this one. It was well worked off the free kick and just kind of lofted towards the goal. And there it is. The goalkeeper's out of position. Then it's hammered back in. I believe it was scored by Mamry, Akim Mamry, number 17 in white, who got the goal. And they've equalized inside 15 minutes, so they make up for that earlier goal that came in the very first minute. And they've equalized. And we've got a game on our hands here. And they've given it away here. Sasquatch look flustered all of a sudden, but they'll dribble away with it here. If you were handicapping this one, you'd say Sasquatch would be favored, but it's still all to play for here 15 minutes in. That ball well out of play. Goalkeeper content to let it roll out. So yes, this stadium was actually used as part of the Olympics for field hockey. Soccer, by the way, was actually not played in Montreal. The majority of the games were played in Toronto and Ottawa. And the finals were played at the big Olympic Stadium, which the Premiership of Montreal actually used last year for their final, which was between FC Jazz and Peaky Blinders, and what a final it was. Ball over the top, and the goalkeeper off his line, Novik, to clear it away with the inside of the foot. This one right back where it came from. Romeo has it. Brief moment of indecision there. Tackle put in by Infante. And now it's cleared down the field, but this one, I think he's going to be able to stay onto it. Goalkeeper out there. And that's smart by the goalkeeper, just putting his body between the man who was running it down and the ball. 15 minutes gone, and we've seen 2 goals. One for either side, and we should be in for a good one. And this one blown down for a foul. This team last year, Sasquatch, as I said earlier, they enjoyed a lot of possession in the majority of their games. But I can't say they've really had the possession here. I'd say it's been very even. And if they hadn't got that first goal, they would maybe have their hearts in their throats a bit. But we're still very early. As I said, it's a full 90-minute game. FIFA regulations here. That one played out wide, a smart ball. And that one is out of play, as signaled by the assistant referee. Now, Sasquatch FC, they remind me a lot of a team that used to play in the Premiership of Montreal, a team called Passion Soccer FC. Very similar to Sasquatch in that they were a bunch of younger guys, mainly Italian, and very good technically, very good as a team together. And they made some noise in the division back in around 2015 to 17, I think was the era they were playing, and as this ball down is pounced on by the goalkeeper. They were never able to get over the hump and win the division, I don't believe, as at the time, during that era, the Premiership of Montreal was dominated by the Sky United FC team of Mike Tryan, as well as FC Desjardins. There were a few other teams that came and went that were always solid sides. And that's back when the division was using Molson Stadium, as they are again this year. A couple of runs being made into the box, but they play it back to support. Now the ball's into the box, right towards that penalty spot. Good battle for it here. And it's going to be blown up. Yes, it will be a free kick in a very dangerous position. I think exactly 20 yards out. There was a bit of tugging and a bit of pushing, and Luis Vargas, the official, gives it in favor of the team in the dark uniforms. There'll be, I'm sure, a debate as to who should take this one. A delicious opportunity. And we'll make sure this is done appropriately. Counting out the steps. There's a whole cluster of people there in that wall. Between both teams, that's a 8-person wall. Now down to 7. And yes, that's a new rule. Not allowed to break the wall anymore. So that's why Luis Vargas telling the players in black to get away. But here is the free kick from 20 yards out. Right into the hands of the goalkeeper. There wasn't enough power behind it. He did well to get it over the wall, but didn't have enough pace behind the ball as they're looking to transition quickly here. Probably a bit too quickly as their defenders weren't able to get up. And here's a chance now. Romeo exploding into space. Good acceleration there. Cutting it back across. A real opportunity. The goalkeeper cut down the angle. Made the save with his legs. And it's going to be a corner. There you could see the speed of Sasquatch on display as they just burst into the box and forced the goalkeeper to cut down the angle and make a stop. He's been busy thus far. The Montreal 67 goalkeeper in green. That building just off to the right there is the Curry Gymnasium of McGill University. Or not the Curry Gymnasium, that's actually the Tomlinson Fieldhouse, excuse me, with the windows there. As here's the corner. It's a high one towards the back post. Goalkeeper got a hand to it. Only half cleared. A low drive. Hit something on its way through and was cleared away. And now player down in the box, so they're going to whistle it down. May have been off that initial collision, and now they're asking for the physio to come out. There's a physio at every one of these Canadian Corporate Soccer League matches. I'm not sure actually which team the injured player belongs to. I think it may be Sasquatch. I believe it was when the goalkeeper went flying in there. And we see here a few players on the field, and the fourth official, Louis-Philippe Francoux, there to sort things out, as there's some obvious concern for the player who is down right now. Both players taking, or both teams rather, taking the opportunity to hydrate, and it looks like the player's back to his feet, which is good considering the initial concern. And we see the players hydrating here as the injured player's off the field, which is good to see. And just seeing the players hydrating, something that's very key in this Premiership of Montreal is stamina and endurance, and who can keep going right up to the 90, because there's very, very few leagues that actually play 90 minutes. A lot of the recreational leagues are usually, 60 minutes or 2 30-minute halves or something like that. But it's very rare that you see the full 90. So this is where there could be, in the last 20 minutes, a team that's just a bit more fit really takes over. And that's where you'd think in the last 20 minutes or so, Sasquatch would be favored as their younger players. And here you see the player who was hurt walking off. And listening into the conversation, sounds like it was a head injury, which is why it was blown up so quickly. Sasquatch was in possession, so it should be a drop ball that's given directly to Sasquatch. And there'll, of course, be some added time as well to this first half. And we're just waiting now for things to get restarted. And a sub being made, obviously, for the player who went down. It is a hot one out there, as you can judge by the sun blaring down on the field. And we're about to get the drop ball down to restart things.
Change for the team Sasquatch. With the number
So coming on. All right, so coming onto the field now is Chiri Costa. I believe they said the player who was injured was number 21, De Carlos. In any case, we're definitely sure that Chiri Costa is onto the field playing at the back. And they'll just give the ball to Montreal 67, and we're back on our way. The clock shows that there should be about 20 minutes left in this first half, but there'll be, well, I'd say at least 2 or 3 minutes of added time for that injury. And I must say, since the goal for Montreal 67, we have not seen, oh, that's a risky play, and they've given it away. Oof, that was not very well executed by the team in black. And I was just about to say, since the goal, we really haven't seen this side of the field too much. The majority of the play has been in the midfield or down to our right. This ball over the head and cleared away by the Sasquatch defense. Good touch there. Goalkeeper's off his line, trying something spectacular. It's well out of play. Wasn't a bad thought, I suppose. The goalkeeper was in an awkward position, but it would have had to be struck absolutely perfectly. And we'll reset things with a goal kick. We saw earlier there were some new rules implemented, I think in late 2019 from, well, for all of soccer across the world. We've seen them really on display at the 2020 Euro Championship that's been going on. Good defense there, and it's cleared away. And one of them is that you can't break a wall anymore. You can't have someone, you know, if there's a full line of players, is that ball just a bit too far ahead, out for a goal kick. If there's a wall of players for one team, well, the defensive team you'd assume, the attacking team can't then go and try to break up the wall, and that's what we saw Sasquatch doing just before. And that's why the referee was not having any of that. And another of the rules is the goal kick no longer has to leave the penalty area. And we saw Sasquatch do that very early on, where they just played it short. And another one is the drop ball rule as well. We saw an uncontested drop ball. So all three, well, not all three, there were some other rules as well, but three of the new rules were on display just now in the first 27 minutes of this game. And here comes Sasquatch once more, playing it outside, but it was a good foot to intercept it, but they've got it right back. Left-footed drive. Did the keeper get a hand to it? He did. It was a great stop, forcing it around the goal, as it's going to be a corner here for Sasquatch. They were on the break there, lots of space. Montreal 67 caught up the field. A couple of opportunities to shoot, and they eventually took it with the left foot, and it was a good save by the goalkeeper, who has been busy through the first half hour of this match. Another corner. I believe this is the third or fourth already for Sasquatch. Ball into the box. This one away from the goalkeeper. Nodding it on and then partially cleared away. And this one stolen. A Hardy slide tackle, and he's won it back. Great slide. This ball floating in there for the header. It's down and gathered by the goalkeeper. Now Sasquatch starting to turn it on a bit. It's a back and forth affair still, but the Sasquatch attacks have been far the more dangerous than their counterparts. And this is where, as I said earlier, the stamina and endurance comes into play. We've only played a third of the match. If Club Soccer Montreal 67 are already out of gas, they are going to be in some trouble. They do have some subs. The only sub made thus far was after the injury, in which Chiri Costa came onto the field for Sasquatch. Good job of winning that ball. Caught a hand, and now it's going to be a free kick. Canton standing over this free kick. 38 yards away. We'll see what he can do with this delivery. Right footer. It's going to be curving to his left. No, that's not good enough delivery at all. Easily cleared away. And the secondary clearance is there as well, as Club de Soccer Montreal 67 survived. They had all 11 men behind the ball. Chiri Costa back to the goalkeeper, Novik. Through the middle of the field and out wide to the left. We'll see what they can do with this possession. Can they break down this defense? Nice ball to this near side. Romeo running to keep it in. He has kept it in. He's got a lot of space to work here and a lot of time as well. Early ball into the box. It's loose and just behind the on-running player. The goalkeeper just got to it. I think that was a bit rushed from Romeo. He may not have realized the space and time he had. He could have dribbled right in towards the box, and Montreal 67 was caught up in towards the box. It's loose and somehow cleared away. And now whistled down. We're using an automated camera, and sometimes it's not able to keep up with the play.
He's doing better.
And it's good to see that that injured player who went down about 10 minutes ago is doing okay. Saw him walking around there. And it's difficult for a team to continue playing. And we're gonna have a substitute here.
Change for the team, Sasquatch. Substitution for the number 17, the number 14.
So Justin Caponi, one of the strikers, comes off, and we see Zhang come onto the field, number 20. Caponi, one of their targets. And now we're going to pause things for a hydration break. An eventful first half, a goal 35 seconds in for Sasquatch with the left foot. Then an equalizer about in the 14th minute or so from Montreal 67 off of a free kick where they got the rebound off of the goalpost. And then that scary injury in the 20th minute or so. And Sasquatch, I think, has been the stronger of the two teams in the past quarter of an hour. But it's all even on the scoreboard, and this is the story of Sasquatch last year, where they looked like the better team. They had all the possession, but they left it close a couple of times. So there should be some serious added time here between the injury and the hydration break. We're watching Corporate Soccer TV. This is the Premiership de Montreal. Sasquatch against Club Soccer Montreal 67 from Percival Molson Memorial Stadium. Graham Naismith with you on the commentary. Nice controlled header by Canton will allow his team to break forward. That is Zhang playing it up the field. Vital challenge to block that attempt by the defender in the white uniform. And another corner kick here for Sasquatch. I believe this is their 5th of the game. Low drive. Blocked away. They'll get another attempt at it here with the right foot. Another good delivery, a bullet delivery, but it's over the head of almost everyone, and that one is going to be a goal kick. You just wonder how much longer it's going to be until Montreal 67 break down, or if they'll be able to hang on. It's far too early to start playing ultra defensive. And a foul there against Canton. Played quickly over the top, headed away. I'm not sure if there's a player out of position or if Sasquatch are playing with 3 at the back. They had 3 at the back there. That was an enthusiastic battle between Canton and Infante. Infante with the throw-in now, headed on. Loose ball through the middle of the park. Chiri Costa just thrashes it up the field. Infante back through the middle. Good aerial battle that time. Zhang, I believe, is the one on the ball, and it's a nice forward pass now. Cutting it back. He's got some good support. Trying to take it himself. It's blocked. Skips out to this near side. Couple of moves here from Sasquatch. This one last off of a 67 defender, and it's going to be yet another corner for the team in black. All of that defense, all of that running is going to start taking its toll on Montreal 67. Canton running over to take this corner kick already. It's their 6th of the game.
Change for the team, Montreal 67. Substitution by the number 6. The number 22.
So Infante comes out, and some fresh legs are put out there with about 7 minutes to go. Well, it's going to be more than that, closer to 10 minutes with the added time. And he'll have to defend the corner right away. It's a deep one, and headed back in there. Just over. The deep corner to an unmarked player. I actually believe it was Zhang, who's an imposing presence out there, wearing the number 20 shirt. And he actually had some good power behind the header, which is hard to generate. Didn't do too badly, and it just went over the bar. And actually, the in-stadium announcer said number 6 was heading. I'm pretty sure she said number 6 was heading off. But he's still on the field there, so no one really knows anything, and we're still playing here as the ball is up, well defended, some enthusiastic defending, thrashes at it, but gives it away. Sasquatch really clumped up over on that one side, and they'll get a throw in for their efforts. This one kicked high. Canton with the header back through the middle of the field. Zhang drops deep to control it. Couple of moves, but he's going to lose it here. No foul there, says the referee, as this one up the field. Once again, Canton gets to it, so it looks like there actually is a back 4 for Sasquatch. They were just caught a bit out of position where we saw them with a back 3. And that back 4 will be tested here, but the goalkeeper's out to get it, Novik. We actually haven't seen an offside as far as I can remember. which partly speaks to the quality of these two teams. Now running at the defense. He's got Zhang with him. Romeo on the near side. That's where he's looking. He's got Romeo. Good first touch. And oh boy, that's really a poor effort. He did a good job to get into that position, but that's just not going to cut it. He needs to do much better than that.
Montreal 67 by the number 6 and number 3. Changement de l'équipe, Montréal
So now
67.
Infante actually does come off.
Place numéro 3.
And we'll get someone new at the left defense position for the last few minutes of this first half, which has slowed down just a bit. Good pressure being put on there, and it's back to the goalkeeper who's been busy, as we said. Calls for a handball, but the official says play on, and it's team defense by Sasquatch. Sasquatch looking a bit spread out here through the midfield. Playing a 4-3-3 from the looks of things. And they were caught there a bit. And Zhang plays that one out. Chiricosta back to the goalkeeper Novik, who puts it up the field. Zhang dropping to try to collect it. And that's a pullback. And the referee will call it accordingly. Ooh, that's a delicious ball into the box just over the head. A good ball. Just the run maybe a half yard deeper and it would have been real trouble for the goalkeeper and defense, but this time they survive, and there we see it up on the scoreboard on the left side of our screen. 1-1 the score in the 43rd minute. That was nice defense. Created the interception, now has the ball moving forward, out to his teammate, trying the first time low cross. Easily defended away, but they're right back on it. Brunet, number 5, trying to move forward. There's a left-footed drive, just wide of the goal. Montreal 67 showing some pushback in the last couple of minutes. And there's a substitution being made.
Change for the team Montreal 67. Substitution by the number 17, the number 7.
So
Changement de l'équipe, Montréal 67. Joueur en place,
Kirenas is coming on the field,
numéro 7.
number 7, and Mamry, the goal scorer, is coming off. Akim Mamry. And there he is, making his way off the field right now. Ball being cycled through the middle. Brunet moving it along. Ball through the middle. Not a bad decision. Just no one running for it. And they want to counter quickly here to Sasquatch, but it was a bit too quick from the goalkeepers. He's giving it away. And right back the other way come Montreal 67. Sasquatch really on the back foot here. Through the middle, calls for an offside. There was one at some point in there with that rapid passing. And we'll see if the fourth official signals if there'll be any added time.
When you lose that ball, you go back and get it.
Ball off the field, goalkeeper off his line. Did feel comfortable fielding it with his hands, and actually no added time whatsoever to this first half. So after the first 45, 1-1 the score between Montreal 67 and Sasquatch. We'll be back and a moment for the second half.
1. Montreal 67. 1.
And we're back for the second half at Percival Molson Stadium. 1-1 the score between Montreal 67 and Sasquatch FC. Graham Naismith with you on the commentary. Sasquatch in their dark uniforms moving from right to left on your screen. And Montreal 67 in white moving in the opposite direction. And here comes Sasquatch right away. They got an early opening goal in this game. 35 seconds in. It was a bit of a weird one that fooled the goalkeeper. A long, lofting, lobbed ball that just fooled the goalkeeper and opened the scoring only a few seconds in. And then Montreal 67 equalized off of a free kick, a rebound off the post. And there's a hard foul in the middle of the field. Apologies all around. And we've seen some ebbs and flows in this game. There were times when Sasquatch looked destined to score and looked much the stronger team, dominating possession, especially in the offensive third. And here's an opportunity now. Great save by the goalkeeper. Danger still there. Another stop by the goalkeeper, Novik. Oh no, that's a poor clearance. Back in there. Still some defending to do. Another volley's blocked. A mad scramble here. And it's taken away as Sasquatch survived. We saw an early goal in the first half, and we almost saw one here in the second half. Novik, the goalkeeper for Sasquatch, doing some good work, and now Justin Caponi just drew the foul. What a frantic start to the second 45. Ball in there easily skips to the goalkeeper. And there were times in the first half where it looked like Sasquatch were very much the stronger team, like they were going to win the game with their good offensive presence, but they weren't able to find the back of the net. And the last 5 minutes or so definitely belonged to Club Soccer Montreal 67. Keep in mind, Sasquatch had a player go down with what looked to be a very serious injury. He was eventually able to walk away. As there's a nice throw in up the line, they'll try it again. Ball bounces into the stands. They'll need another one. But then, as we were saying, Montreal 67 really battled back. And, well, they almost took the lead right there. 67 enjoying some possession here. Long ball up the field. Falls down. Here's an opportunity. They bump into one another. Still a chance here. Left-footed shot, perhaps. There it is. It's out of bounds and a goal kick. Didn't hit anything on the way through. Shot was taken by Kirenis. Number 7 in white. He was inserted into the game late in the first half. As we said, we're at Percival Molson Memorial Stadium in Montreal, Canada. Seats over 20,000. And a great venue for this game in the Premiership de Montreal. This one flicked forward. Onside is the call. Trying to pull it back for something spectacular, but it's headed away. There's a long drive. Looks like it was handled with ease by the goalkeeper, Jacob Novik. Novik now long throw up the field, almost as long as his drop kicks. out to the far side. That's Romeo. He had a couple of good chances in the first half, and here he comes once again. Romeo gaining some ground, cutting inside, poking it along. Surely a penalty. It is. There he is, pointing to the spot. The player up ahead of the play was clattered into by a defender. And now a chance for a spot kick to take the lead for Sasquatch. Just the opportunity they were looking for. A team that has had a hard time scoring goals.
Yellow card for the team Montreal 67.
And there was actually a caution issued for the foul. I think it is number 17, Caponi, who's taking it. That looks to be who it is. So can he give his team the lead? A really big opportunity here for Sasquatch. He scores.
And that was another goal for the team Sasquatch FC.
We'll take a look at the replay. It looked like a slight stutter step maybe. No, it was just a good finish. It actually wasn't Caponi, it was number 13. Apologies there, who put into the goal. It really doesn't matter for Sasquatch. What matters is they're up by 1, and it's very early in this second half. The next goal will be the important one. And in a relatively short season, the Premiership division, or the Premiership de Montreal, usually runs from about early May until the first week of September, or the end of August. So the fact that the first game is only now on June 20th, that means that there's some catching up to do, but also it's going to be a shorter season. So every goal matters. Sometimes it does come down to goal differentials, so Sasquatch will not want to let up. Long throw in, headed away. De Carolis is doing some defending. At first we thought he was the player who was injured. It is not him, as 21's on the field right now. Throw into the box. There's some help there, but he's going to take it himself, try to dance in there, and he's danced right out of bounds. There's a good view of the cavernous Molson Stadium. It's a loud atmosphere when the Montreal Alouettes have a sellout crowd. And you can see there a very aged facility as well, dating back to the 1920s actually. That side over there that we're looking at right now, the lower seats, you can see up top there's some different style seats, but the lower ones there on the first level, those date back to around 1920. That concrete's over 100 years old, and you can see the old photos when you look it up online. Soccer and football and rugby has been played here for an awful long time. Hoping that our camera can zoom in a bit here. As this ball up the field, he may have been a bit offside. It's no matter now because 67 has control of the ball and the goalkeeper pounds it away. We're about 10 minutes into the second half, and Sasquatch taking the lead from the penalty spot. That's a great ball in towards the box. Running it down. Back for De Carolis. Plays it square through the middle of the field. But, oh, he was too lackadaisical with it. And Montreal 67 was briefly on the break. But they've won it back. To his near side, down low for Zhang. Left-footed ball blocked away by a defender, and it's going to be another corner. It's been nearly 10 corners now for Sasquatch in this game. Haven't made use of any of them. And corners, as tantalizing as they are, they really don't result in as many goals as you may think. But when you're 0 for 8 or 9, you got to do something with it. This is a deep ball towards the back post. Did that catch a hand? Assistant referee was well positioned and he says no. So it caught the body and this went out of play. Sasquatch keeps possession. No, it looks like they'll be trying it again. This now their 9th or 10th corner of the game. And they've got to do something with it eventually. Couple of players lining up in sequence to make a run in there. It's put there towards the penalty spot, headed on. Looks like 67 will be the first team to this ball, and they bank it off of a player in black and out, so they'll be able to recover. Oh, that's a poor giveaway. Right through the middle of the park. And they'll play it back here for De Carolis. Up off the body of a 67 player. That one just stayed in... Nope, it didn't stay in play. One mistake there from 67 in that sequence of possession, and Sasquatch would have been in. As they play it back and they'll look to recycle possession. Novik to the far side. Be sure to follow the Canadian Corporate Soccer League and the Premiership de Montreal on social media, Facebook, Instagram. And now here's a real break now for Sasquatch. Great run being made, but it's a ball that really should have been a bit better placed. They'll still have possession. Zhang providing support. He's on the ball now. He's got to have some help behind him somewhere. It's arriving now with De Carolis, but it's a poor pass, and now Club de Soccer Montreal 67 can break away. A smart move cutting it back, but the defender stayed right with him, and De Carolis has it once more. Stepping around, but the second defender's in there. Both teams running at one another. Really trying to take advantage of a break, and Sasquatch on it once more. No forward options for them whatsoever. Oof, and again, a lack of quality in the attacking third, hurting Sasquatch as it did really all of last season. The potential of the team is so high. They've got some really technically sound players and some really pacey players that you'd expect them to do much better. You'd expect them to be scoring goals at will. But by the same token, their defense is very solid. And that will serve them well come crunch time and come playoff time. In fact, when it comes down to those single elimination winner-take-all games. I think you'd probably rather have the solid defense than the solid attack. So you could say they're a team built for the long haul. But I think they'd want to find the back of the net a bit more often, or at least be a bit more clinical in the final third. Zhang concedes the foul this time. A half hour left in this one. Montreal 67 will be looking for the equalizer, poking it through, headed away. They've had the possession. They've had the possession. They've had the opportunity to build, but they haven't really troubled Novik that much. There was that early opportunity in this second half, maybe 2 minutes in, where they really had the defense on their heels. But since then, it's been smooth sailing for the back line of Sasquatch. Whoa. That was an interesting play. I'm surprised there's not some sort of a talking to there from the official, but in any case, it is Sasquatch ball. Sasquatch putting it up the field, knocked away. Zhang gets it. And it's over the head and will be recovered by Montreal 67. I'm not sure how many substitutes Sasquatch have at their disposal, especially now that they've got a player who is out for the match injured. But I think now may be a good time to put in a sub. They've looked a bit slow up top, a bit fatigued. Their defense has been holding solid, but just maybe a little more energy up top could really push 67 to their breaking point. But here comes 67 themselves. Defender steps in and clears the way out the outside of the boot. Now, here's a good moment where they could have had some aggression going forward, but they're dispossessed. And back comes 67 trying to dribble towards the box. They've got to be careful of no foul. The officials... The assistant referee signaling for something. Was it offside, or it couldn't have been a foul? Yellow card. Maybe a bit of a swing after the play was over there. The game has been a pretty physical one. And right now, a penalty in about the 50th minute is the difference. But this is where the games are decided now. The last 20 minutes or so, because we'll see which team has more energy. And here comes Montreal 67 bursting by. A good battle there. They'll have a corner for themselves, will the team in white. I believe that this is actually their first of the game, I believe. And we'll see what they can do with it. Keep in mind, their goal came off of a set piece. It was a free kick that was passed and then hit off the post. And they're just fetching the ball right now as players from both teams are refreshing themselves. Corner taken, high one over everyone's head. Looks like 67 still going to be on the ball, putting it right back in there, headed away by a defender. And now they'll try to break. Whoa, look at this break. It's a 3-on-1, but it's whistled down. And was there a foul against Sasquatch in the build-up? A yellow card is issued. Oh no, it's a It's a yellow card against 67, and Sasquatch will feel hard done by. It was a 3-on-1 breaking forward, and it was called back for a foul behind the play. They were definitely on the break there. Ball by Novik up the field. Oh, it bounces in there for Zhang. He was behind the defense, but they recovered well. And they'll clear it away. That man, I believe, is offside. Yep. Well, it's going to be tight. There's still all to play for. It just takes one. One chance, one break.
Montreal 67. Substitution by the number 8 and number 15. Changement de l'équipe Montreal 67.
So, right now we have De Oliveira coming onto the field for
Change for the team,
Montreal
Sasquatch
67. Zhang coming off
with the number
for
20 and
Sasquatch.
number 5.
So there are some fresh legs going right up to the top of the formation for Sasquatch, which I thought this is a good time to do it, I think, for the last 25 minutes. Someone to just impact the game a bit. That ball out of play by about a foot. De Oliveira not quite able to get to it. De Carolis attempting this throw-in. Caponi bumps with Brunet. Left-footed ball through the middle. 50-50 for it. Caponi couldn't quite win it. Romeo battling there, throwing the tackle in and preventing Montreal from switching the ball and moving up the field. There are a couple of exciting teams that we can look forward to in this Premiership de Montreal. A couple of teams that have been around a while as well. There's Verdansk FC, a fiery team that I think will be always interesting to watch. LGQV, who we remember from last year. They didn't quite make the playoffs, but they did give a good account of themselves. Then we've got Sasquatch. There's also a team called FC United who are returning from last year. They were known as Stadium 5. And those experienced teams, they just missed the playoffs last year, but they might be able to change their fortunes this season. As they're experienced, there's a lot of returning players. They've got that chemistry. And here's an opportunity for Sasquatch on the volley. It's in!
That was another goal for the team, Sasquatch FC.
Good technique on the volley to keep that one down. Goalkeeper got a hand to it, but it wasn't enough. It came out of nowhere. It looked like he was surrounded, but it just found its way through, and it was a really nice volley. And it's the player they just put on, the substitute, who puts it in. So it's those fresh legs that pay off. And now with about 20 minutes to go, Sasquatch firmly in control of this match.
Changement de l'équipe Montréal 67. Joignent en place le numéro
Coming back on is Akeem Mamri. He was the goal scorer for Montreal 67, and I'll have his work cut out for him if he wants to drag his team back into this one. But Sasquatch double their lead and look to have good control of this match. De Oliveira has the ball. Looking up the field, always going to be a defender getting to that one, and Sasquatch will be looking for more here. All the way back to the goalkeeper, Novik. And there's two other teams in this league that I'm looking forward to seeing, as that ball is out of play off of someone. There's Les Elephants FC. They should be a very, very strong team, mainly players from Côte d'Ivoire. And they play a fun brand of football. I'm really looking forward to seeing them for the first time and seeing how they do in this league. And then there's also Sabelero FC. They're a first-year team, but they've got some good talent. So it should be an interesting season. There's also White Eagles who will be in the league as well, I believe. But it will be a fun summer in the Premiership division as this ball is up there towards the penalty spot, headed on right into the hands of Novik. What will Montreal 67 have to do in the last 20 minutes to try to get themselves back into this game? Well, it starts with not conceding right here, as there is an opportunity here, but it's knocked away. Takes a strange bounce off the field turf. It's going to be a corner. They'll have to change something, as they really haven't troubled the back line of Montreal penetrators. And they don't seem to have the technical ability to really maintain possession. They seem to be an all-out attacking team. They really, when they get the ball, they're moving it forward. As here's the corner in there, another good one, just headed away. But they seem to be hesitant to keep possession. Here they come through the midfield. Poking it back. There should be some help on this near side from someone. 50-50 here. Just won by Di Oliveira. And they cycle it back with the defense. And there you see they're content on just moving it forward, and it's very easy for Sasquatch. They can just sit back and, well, if you're going to kick it to us, here we go. Now sprinting forward. Trying to cut inside. A good defensive intervention made there. And now can Sasquatch move it back the other way? That is Brunet. Nice bit of skill there. Maybe a bit too much skill as it's out of play. Maybe Montreal 67... They could use a formation change, really, or maybe some kind of a tactics change. Sasquatch trying to figure out a substitution. Ball up the field. It doesn't look like Montreal 67 really has a burner up there who can run by everyone either. So it'll be tough for them to break down the defense. What they will have to do is they have to take advantage of their opportunities. They'll probably get 2 opportunities before the game's over, just with fatigue and whatnot.
It's not like last year where you can just tell the person. Completely different. Sorry about that. It takes a bit of time. If they ask you to finish this up.
Ball flicked over. Goalkeeper off his line. He'll get there. Here's an opportunity now. Sasquatch cut up the field a bit. Here comes Montreal 67 poking it by. They'll need some help in the box. Lots of space to run. They move it in there. Swinging and missing at it. It's loose. and it's gathered by the goalkeeper. Or is it actually... No, it is in there in play as they transitioned it quickly, but there was an opportunity for Montreal 67. They got it into the box, just couldn't get it on goal.
Change for the team Montreal. Change for the team Sasquatch FC.
Zhang coming back onto the field.
By the number 14 to the number 20.
And another player jogging out there, taking up a defensive role. DeCarolis is out. And some fresh legs at the back, probably a good decision considering the situation they're in right now. Here is Zhang, poking it up the field. Banked off a defender and out.
That's it. Good. Put it in. Good.
Caponi just missed that ball. And now here they come again. But it's out of play. It's going to be yet another corner. This is definitely at least their 10th of the match now. Sasquatch. And here's an opportunity for them to maybe work on their corners a bit. Game's pretty firmly in their grasp. Maybe try to draw something up they've been working on the training ground. Went in there, forced away. Here's another opportunity. Long shot well over the goal. We think back to the goal scored by Sasquatch, the insurance marker, their third of the game. It was really well done by that player to keep the ball down on the volley. So often we see volleys end up like that. Well over the goal, out of play. They just lean back. But to stay over the ball, hit it true, but hit it on goal, really impressive to see. Do Sasquatch have one more in them? That's a good slide. Going to be a throw-in. Looking direct up the middle of the field. They're going to get the ball here. R67. They're going to try to move it into the middle, but it's knocked away by a defender. Now a ball in there towards the box, knocked down by Novik and gathered. Through the middle of the park, looking right down Main Street, but it's knocked away. And now here's an opportunity to run on. Surprised that's not a foul. Don't think he played the ball at all there to the defender. I'm really surprised. In that situation, maybe the attacker actually would have been better off if he'd stayed on his feet, because maybe the referee thought he was exaggerating things a bit. But for me, no attempt on the ball there. That should be a foul. This one back now. Montreal 67 with a bit of possession. This only in the last 10 minutes, though. They could have used this. They have no width here. Everyone really towards the middle of the field. And it rolls out of play.
Change for the team, Montreal 67. Substitution by the number 7, substitution by the number 18, the number 26. Changement pour l'équipe, Montréal 67. Joue à la place numéro 9.
So Jagueno coming on for Montreal 67, and I'm surprised they're making their changes now. When you're down by 2, I'm surprised they waited for the last 10 minutes. Probably should have made them maybe about 5 minutes ago, as it could be a bit too late. But we'll have to see. Looking long, looking direct once more, hoping for a mistake from the defense. De Oliveira gets it now. And Zhang commits the foul. And Zhang's given a yellow card.
Yellow card for the team, Sasquatch FC. Carton jaune pour l'équipe, Sasquatch FC. For the number 20.
So a free kick here. Montreal 67 trying to commit a good number of players forward as they look to claw their way back into this game. Ball up in there, good opportunity to shoot. He'll take it, and it goes wide. Out for a goal kick. And now Sasquatch will use as much time as they can trying to kill off this game. It would be a good opening win for them. Always nice to start your season with the full 3 points. And with a very sound defensive performance to boot. And now
Card for the team. Yellow card for the team, Sasquatch FC.
there was some chirping going on, and another yellow given to Sasquatch FC. And now another yellow card given to Montreal 67. It's Brunet who is going in the book, Xavier Brunet. Bouncing ball up the field. Good slide moving in there. Hard off his line is Novik. He slides in. He's out of position now, and it was vital that that defender got the foot in there, or it could have been almost an open goal for Montreal 67. And here they come now, Sasquatch. They have some numbers moving forward. Good ball, but it's a slide that will knock it out for a corner kick. Yeah, I thought it was a corner. Delayed signal there. And now another corner for the team in black as they look to really put this one to bed. Towards the penalty spot, knocked away. And that's a good secondary clearance as well. Looking up the field, hits the back of a defender. Good couple of moves there. Romeo again. On his favorite right foot. Thought about shooting, pulls it back, pokes it along. Advantage played by the official. Long drive off of a defender. Still Sasquatch go. They scoop it over, looking for Zhang. Flag stays down. Cutting it back towards the middle. Goalkeeper wanted it. His defender got in the way. And he'll launch it up the field. Defenders trying to play it safe here. They're aware of the situation, aware they're up by 2, and have the game firmly in their grasp. And now Caponi had the ball, but there was a foul that was committed by one of his teammates. As for Montreal 67, expectations, they couldn't have been too high for them coming into this match, as it was their first game together as a group against a team that has quite a bit of experience playing together. So it wasn't going to be easy, but when they equalized there in the 14th minute, and then were hanging around towards the end of the first half, and it was a tie through the first 45 minutes, I think maybe they could have been thinking they could get the win or at least hang on for the draw, but Sasquatch has proven that they were the superior side on the day. Novik off his line, slides in there, gets the man, and the ball goes running out of play behind the goal. But a good first attempt for Montreal 67. They know that they can compete in this league with this lineup they've put out. It's just a matter of prolonging that good 15-minute stretch they had in the first half and turning that into a full performance over the course of the season, or over the course of a game, and then over the course of a season. About 3 minutes from time here. And I think now the result is pretty evident. It would take something truly remarkable to come back at this point, as Zhang has it. They'll be looking for a fourth. Good ball outside. If he's onside, he's really got something going here. Trying to take it to the penalty spot, knocked down, and it's a foul. I think it's Zhang who is taking this free kick. Really close to the area, actually. They were lucky that it wasn't a few yards to the right, or it would have been a penalty. Dinked in there. And again, no one really rising to meet it for the team in black. And this one all the way back, and I think now Sasquatch will just try to keep possession. That's actually the goalkeeper, Novik, who has it. Tempting fade a bit here. And a player falls down, drawing the foul. One more free kick. We're 60 seconds from time. And Sasquatch will be happy with this opening performance of the season. Good one in there. Trouble for the goalkeeper, but he's got it. Nice cut inside. toe peg of a shot that is saved by Novik, and he drops it right away, looking to conserve as much time as possible. They kept it respectable, Montreal 67, but I think the better team on the day is the team that will be coming away with 3 points in this one. Trying a long drive, not going to trouble Novik. And there is the full-time whistle. 3-1 victory for Sasquatch over Montreal 67. Thank you for joining us for this Premiership de Montreal match. My name is Graham Naismith. We'll see you next time.